There is so much to unpack from Suella Braverman's speech at the think tank in Washington DC, but I'm going to get right-wing harpy Julia Hartley-Brewer to sum it all up.
Channel migrants, the boat migrants we've been dealing with here, should no longer be treated as refugees. She'll say it's an absurd and unsustainable system created by international asylum laws under the UN's 1951 Refugee Convention, and she will question whether the huge incentives, as she calls it, for illegal migration need to be changed.
I've decided to look at certain aspects of this speech in different videos, but first, let's set the tone.
Thank you very much for the welcome. It is always a great pleasure to be here in America. Now, I'm here in America to talk about a critical and shared global challenge: uncontrolled and illegal migration.
So it's a global problem, and obviously Sue is palling up to the USA to compare experience. But it's more dramatic than that, because it could be the end of our countries if nothing is done.
It's an existential challenge for the political and cultural institutions of the West. Just as it's a basic rule of history that nations which cannot defend their borders will not long survive, it is a basic rule of politics that political systems which cannot control their borders will not maintain the consent of the people and thus not long endure.
Now let's have an example.
You do not have to be a clairvoyant to see how might this all unfold. To understand the future, cast your mind back a couple of weeks and a few thousand miles southeast of here to the tiny Italian island of Lampedusa, population then 6,000.
Lampedusa. Where have I heard of that before?
You think we've got problems with the English Channel or the Americans with their border? Well, have a look at what happened in the Mediterranean in the last few days. The little Italian island of Lampedusa, 200 boats, an invasion coming across like a military operation, 200 boats in the space of a few days, and over 10,000 young men from a variety of African countries, most of them former French colonies.
I'm not sure of the significance of the French colonies part of this speech, but maybe it's an added fear. Oh no, they speak French. Here's some more info.
Lampedusa, where in a 24-hour period beginning on the 12th of September, over 120 boats, over 100 boats, carrying more than 5,000 illegal migrants, made the 100-mile crossing from Tunisia in Africa to Italy. Within 48 hours, illegal arrivals outnumbered the local population, and a state of emergency had been declared. By the 20th of September, at least 11,000 had landed, with migrants sleeping in the street, stealing food, and clashing with the police. These 11,000 are part of the estimated 133,000 people who've already come to Italy illegally by sea in the first 6 months of this year. That number is almost double the number of arrivals at the same point in 2022.
So yes, pretty scary stuff, and this is obviously a catalyst for the right to justify action. Fundamentally though, in further videos, we need to question the West's involvement throughout the world and our part in the acceleration of climate change that will obviously displace people.
But we must be honest. The fundamental drivers of this epoch-defining challenge are economics and demography. In January, the World Economic Forum said that migration will become one of the top 5 global risks in the next decade, ahead of national resource crisis, geo-economic confrontation, and environmental disasters.
Because if not, this is Nigel's response to what should be done.
Unless everyone is told, if you cross the Mediterranean, we will take you back to Tunisia and Libya. Unless that message is put out, I think this has the potential to literally, socially and politically destroy Europe.
So basically, that's pushing everybody back and erecting barriers to act like a castle. I'm not sure that that's a practical way to proceed. Click here for a video about being too young and too dumb to vote.